right from the faucet, the fount of wisdom, the source of the information, the founder of Peaceful Inner Warriors United, Laura J. with a swollen eye because somehow I got cat hair in it. But besides the point, I finally realized why it was so important to me to record Father Goose that Bill Lishman had wrote that inspired the movie Fly Away Home. And as I read it and transformed through the reading and narrating of it to be published on Amazon where you can get it, I went through such a process and so many tears because of how I had to face my fears in order to record an artist, a legend's work in a way that would be good enough. Maybe you can relate. But I want to take all of that and I want to apply it to this naked, raw, and live, even swollen if you want to just add to the essence of the experience and invitation. But I want to invite you personally to come to Soul's Path November 11th for a public meeting in the afternoon where we're going to have some training talking about the real Rome as to how all roads lead to Rome if we actually see the reality of me empowerment, my empowerment, our empowerment, man's empowerment, all of us, man, woman, child, we are all under the same all. We came from the same all that created all, which all excludes nothing. So if we all came from all, and we are actually us, that is when and why we must discuss the danger of relating and referencing ourselves in third person pronouns that put us as third parties in our own lives, making them affairs because we brought in a middleman or agent to speak on our behalf when we didn't need them to, if only we'd asked how to lawfully stand in honor, be real, and heal by feeling all of those feels that we didn't know how to move before, and so we didn't. We shoved them down, pressed, suppressed, depressed, repressed, compressed, denied, tried to hide. All of those energies in motion, they need to move, which is why in November we are going through the Transformation of Self-Image Challenge. Starting at the very beginning of it, November 11th being part of it, Bill's story being fundamental to all of it. Because he was a man that had a dream to fly with the birds. And he started with Canada geese, not Canadian geese, I've been told, and there's a reason we can get into when we're there live, for apparently it was a pet peeve of Bill, for I never knew him personally. He passed December 30th, 2017, and I didn't know the family until 2022. So there you go. But the point is that he was an artist that had a dream to fly with the birds. And he also desired to have sustainability in case there were climate issues, which he foresaw. And so he created an underground home that we are going to actually have an opportunity to visit for those who choose to register for this event. It's $88, which is going to include a supper at Soul's Path Retreat Center next door, which is actually where the event is taking place. So, unless otherwise disclosed, the private residence of Bill and Paula Lishman is off limits, but unless you have inside access to the family to get an invite personally, by all means, then consider this void, for that agreement is between you, not me, who would be a third party in that dynamic, which is what we just need to understand in a corporate context, because these entities, corporate entities that are consuming us through the one-dimensional identities that we take on, they are destroying the soul and fabric of mankind. We have lost the kindness somewhere along the root race. I know there's BS around that, but what I didn't see until yesterday was that we BS spells webs. And if you take the BS that we subscribe to, scribing under that BS belief system that came out from outside of ourselves, and then we scribe it and then subscribe to the scribes of what was scribed, we will then describe what was scribed as our truth when it is only what has made us feel safe and certain because someone we trusted told us it was true. And what may be new to some is that the authorities outside of us have made us drop knees to be knighted, which means to receive a status, title, or personage, to change our identity, in order to incorporate us into a legal fiction that would make us other than we are, and implied surety, which means responsible for the person that is created as the measurement of a title that we're willing to accept and consent to, you see? Person is a measurement of the title of son. A man takes on the title of person, or a woman, which is a title of man, because a woman originally could only get her name and honor from her man. Whether that be the patriarchal father figure who she was born into the family of, or the husband that she married and then took on the responsibility of representing as the one who took on the name of the household and then had a different liege lord at the top of the manor. The manorial system that led to feudalism, that made resistance futile, yeah, these are the things that I can share and just riff off, and if you drift off, we can catch up together because that's the benefit of shared company. And it's not just about me by any means. I do have a lot to share as I make others aware of the legal fiction and how Laurelese can make it easier for us to see the need to use energy in order to actually stand in our power, because then we see that energy is all there is. Energetic resources being time, energy, effort, attention, and money. Those team players ultimately lead to the construction of lives that we either love living or want to escape. And when we do, that is a dangerous situation to see ourselves enter into. I submerged my hand and want to have it dry for when I try to turn this off. So I want to get to the main point of the message as to why it is so important for you to come out and hear the real life testimonial of not just Bill Lishman, who did actually achieve his dream and then even had a motion picture created about it that made his family famous in the underground too. But he also stayed true to that creative vision that allowed him to bring creative babies into the world without sin. Of sin tax applied and subscribed to say we must hide what we feel and just take this as the meaning of that, when we don't need to leave behind what we feel if we know how to move those energies in motion, which is what we're going to do in good company at Soul's Path the afternoon of November 11th. There are activities taking place November 10th. There's a public event, and there is also overnight rooms available where you can stay with the code for Peaceful Inner Warriors United. And in the morning, there is an activity that is private. So if you're not invited, if you don't have an RSVP, you won't be able to come in. So you need to know how to get in the room, which means you pay the $88 and then you get supper and you let your hair down and you get excited and you say you can wear whatever you want. You can come buck naked if you wish to, though it will be socially inappropriate given everyone else will have clothes on, so there will be opportunities to go clothes free. This one is a textile event, but what we don't need are the masks and personas. So just come as you. You're enough.